Good morning, everyone. If we could please take a seat, we're about to start. Please come around the corner and take a seat. I think we have a full room, which is great. Welcome to our annual event in commemoration of the International Day of the Girl. This is jointly hosted by ADB and Plan International, and you can see here today our theme is on a very important topic of ending child, early and forced marriage in Asia and the Pacific. So this is one of my favorite events of the year because it is rare that we have such a youthful crowd here in ADB. And it's for those of us that are not as young, it's always very inspiring and energetic and really hopeful for us to hear these different perspectives of younger people in the room. I'd like to welcome our guests, external guests. We have representatives from the University of the Philippines Diliman campus and maybe also Los Baños, I'm not sure, who are from the social work faculty, I understand. We also have a small group that represent the Girl Scouts from International School Manila and British School of Manila. Thank you for coming. We also have civil society representatives, ADB staff, colleagues, and people online. Before we get into the formal program, I have the pleasure of inviting our Director General, Eugene Zukov, of the Climate Change.
Thank you, Sam, and good morning. Welcome to this event. It's certainly first time for me, and I'm very happy to be here with you for this celebration of International Day of the Girl. I'm very pleased to see representatives of the youth from Asia and Pacific joining us both in person, but I also understand we have a large group joining us online, along with civil society partners and ADB colleagues. Over the last decade, there has been a growing recognition of the unique challenges the girls face, as well as greater opportunities for them to speak up and be heard. Girls across the world continue to face significant challenges simply because they're young and because they're female. According to UNICEF, 1 in 5 young women aged between 15 and 24 in Asia and the Pacific are not in education, employment, or training. It's 1 in 8 among the young men, highlighting the persistent gender gaps and opportunities and access.
আমার ঘর বাড়ি বড় শহর থেকে কিছুটা দূরে। আমি আমার শৈশবের একটা গুরুত্বপূর্ণ অংশ আপনাদের সাথে শেয়ার করতে চাই। আমার যখন বয়স 8 বা 9 তখন আমাদের এলাকায় মেয়েদের অধিকার এবং বাল্যবিবাহ নিয়ে বিভিন্ন সেশন হতো। যেহেতু আমি ছোট ছিলাম তাই আমাকে নিত না। আমি আমার বড় বোনের হাত ধরে সেশনে যেতাম। আমার মনে হতো এই কাজটি আসলে অনেক আকর্ষণীয়, নেতৃত্ব আর সাহসের।
My home is a bit far from the city. Let me share an important and interesting part of my life. When I was 8 or 9 years old, often menstruation on child rights and child marriage were happened. But as I was young, I was not allowed to participate there. But I would always go holding my elder sister's hand. I felt that the work was something powerful, full of leadership and courage.
আমি আমার চারপাশে দেখেছি স্কুল বাদ দিয়ে ছোট ছোট মেয়েদের বিয়ে দিয়ে দেয়। আমি এমনও দেখেছি বিয়ের 1 বা 2 বছর পর ডিভোর্স হয়ে বাচ্চা সহ বাসায় চলে আসতে। তখন থেকে আমার মনে একটাই চিন্তা গেঁথে গেছে, কবে আমি বড় হব, কবে মেয়েদের জন্য কিছু করব।
I saw many girls around me married after leaving school. I also saw some who had to return home after divorce within 1 or 2 years of marriage. From then on, a single thought became rooted in my mind. When I will grow up, I will do something for them.
কিন্তু আমার এই চলার পথ সহজ ছিল না। সেই পথে আমাকে গড়ে তুলেছে আজকের এই তরুণী হিসাবে। আজ আমি দৃঢ়ভাবে বিশ্বাস করি আশার আলো, সাহসিকতার শক্তি এবং ইতিবাচক উদ্যোগের মাধ্যমে সমাজে বাস্তব পরিবর্তন আনা সম্ভব।
But my journey was not easy. Yet that same path shaped me into the young woman I am today. Now I firmly believe that with hope, courage, and positive action, it is possible to bring real changes.
Okay, thank you for having me. This is a great opportunity for me from Indonesia to share how we have a experience in the prevention child marriage in our country. But firstly, I'm feel sorry because I can join you at in Manila today, but we still share our work in the national strategy to prevent child marriage. Actually, Indonesia has already have a national strategy to prevent child marriage since 2020. So it's already around 6 years we have this document. And the result when we implement this document is really good because the child marriage rate in Indonesia have a very significant decrease. So what we do when we try to put the child marriage as one of our priority agenda, so we put it in our national development planning. Why we think that it is important because all of the issue that come and established in our national document, it will be a prioritized issue. So we can implement it in the national level and also align it in the provincial level. So we put the child marriage as one of the indicator of development in our document planning. Which is can you see in the right side, we put the national we have a long-term national development planning from 2025 until 2055. It is a new national development planning for 20 years, and we have one of the goal is Indonesia Emas or Golden Indonesia, goal number 14. We talking about quality families, gender equality, and inclusive communities, which is one of the priorities and one of the strategies is to protect children, women, and youth. Particularly in the violence and also including the child marriage. And in the midterm national development planning, which is from 2025 and until 2029, we put the child marriage becoming one of the national indicator. The baseline in 2018, we have 11.2% of proportion of women aged 20, 24 years old who were married before 18 years old. And we put the target in the sorry, I mean the target is it should be 2029. It is we try to make it in the point of 5.03. So right now we already have 5.9. So it is still need much effort to achieve the target in the end of the national development planning period. So the strategy in our national document is to strengthening coordinations and synergy, and also we optimizing the prevention of child marriage. So it is exactly stated in our national development planning as one of the strategy and the priorities issue. So the policy directions, especially in child protection issues, is creating a child-friendly city in Indonesia through strengthening the child protection system, which is responsive to the diversity and characteristic of children area to ensure children enjoy their rights. So it is the umbrella policy directions, and one of the issue that we address is to decreasing the child marriage. So Indonesia also have a milestone to achieve the SDGs goals, and one of the indicator in the goal 5 is also the child marriage. So we have a very big umbrella policy to support the effort in decreasing child marriage in Indonesia. And national development planning is not enough because we still have we have to make something like technical regulations. So we try to put it in the national strategy to prevent child marriage. Now, in the national strategy, we as like Jolie said before, the one of the approach is about ecological perspective, and we do it too in national strategy, or we call it Stranas PPA in Indonesia. So Tranas PPA was prepared by looking at ecological system theory too. So we address the strategy for the children itself and the family, the environment, and also the regulation and government action as well. So why we build some national strategy? It is to make sure the national development planning aligned to the vision and mission in the local level, because Indonesia is a decentralized country. So we have to make sure all the priorities in national also align with the subnational or region priorities. So we put the national strategies as one of the guidance for the locals to also try to make an effort or contribution to decreasing the child marriage in their area. And then the second objective is to building synergy, because we know that child marriage is not only government matters, but we also know that all the stakeholders, non-governmental parties, like maybe plan also, and also the local NGOs has a very huge action to try to contribute in the decreasing of child marriage. And with a national strategy, we collecting all the proxy indicator, and we can make it as a tracking, and make it as a what we call a milestone to make sure all the strategy and technical action can do it smoothly to contribute in our national goal of decreasing the child marriage. And this is the element of our national strategy. So we put a comprehensive strategy. There are five strategy that we already do. The first strategy is optimizing children capacity. So we try to increasing children resilience and being able to become agent of change. So we put some awareness, improving capacity in the maybe sexual and reproductive health educations, and also we push the children to become a peer and peer counselor, and also the agent of change to make some uh, movement like campaigns, and also they also can be reporting agent if they know there is their friends that may be facing the child marriage in their area. They can reporting, and we can make some maybe like advocating to the family not to do the child marriage. So it is really useful strategy, because the children also have agency to become an agent, and they have a resilience. And the strategy number two is we enabling environment. So we support the family and also the environment to prevent child marriage with support the changing in value, norms, perspective, and so on. Because in Indonesia, some of the norms and the value also support child marriage because of the traditions. So we put some action to make behavioral changes in this strategy. And the third strategy is all about the services from the government, which is we ensure that children receive comprehensive basic services like education. So the children can drop out from school because many of the reason of child marriage is because they drop off from school. So the basic services we try to make it expand and all the children can access it. And the strategy number 4 is about regulation and organization. So regulation is a very basic need to do many implementations and to implement all of the policy strategies. So we are still working to strengthen our regulation, not just an umbrella regulation in the national level, but also technical regulation in regional and how to like what we call is like a standard operational procedure if they are uh, children come to the dispensation of the child marriage, and we have to improve the judge and also the social worker, so uh, we can prevent the child marriage happen. So in this regulation, it's not only the macro regulation, the umbrella, but also how to improve the capacity of the staff and government too. So the fifth strategy is all about strengthening stakeholder coordination. That we know government is not enough to do this work because all of the cases come from the grassroots level. So we keenly collaborating with all of the stakeholder from the local uh, area and also with the international organizations and also United Nations. We have many programs to support our agenda in decreasing the child marriage. So the PPA national strategy is a form of innovations in this context of accelerating the reduction of child marriage rate in Indonesia. And this document is driving force for the preparation of regulation a higher level that become a legal umbrella. So the unique one is the Stranas PPA is not being a national regulation yet legalized. We don't have any law about this, but because of the strong collaboration action, the national strategy still can be implemented together with many stakeholders from non-government. I think this is the quick presentations about national strategy. I hope you can get some good insight and happy to
Thank
discuss
you.
with you all. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ina. I'm not sure if you can hear, but there's an applause for you in the room. We will come
Thank
back to you
you.
maybe with questions later.
Yes.
But thank you very much for explaining the approach to your national strategy and the importance of tackling in different levels and trickling down to local level. And it's impressive the progress that's been made so far in the past 6
third speaker, last but not least, we're moving across to Papua New Guinea now, and really honoured to be able to introduce Lily Basur, who's the founder and director of Voice for Change, an organisation in Papua New Guinea, and she's been a very prominent voice in women's rights, as a women's rights defender and research and peace building from in addressing and advocacy for addressing gender-based violence in Papua New Guinea. So please, the floor is yours.
While we were working in Papua New Guinea, the highlands of Papua New Guinea, it's a patriarchal society. And we were discovered by the Australian explorers in the early 1958. So you can just imagine, in the highlands, is men are seen as warriors, protectors and guardians of our tribal and our land and everything. And everything was around, it revolved around the male child and men. So when we were working and when we were opening our doors, we saw the issue that most of the young girls were coming through the doors, where the main issue was the social and cultural norms. It's a patriarchal society. The positive values and the support were put on the male child. The girls were environmentally, I think, were conditions that you are to raise. We raise them to be able to get married, and then they have to fetch us bride price. So one of the other thing was that we saw was it's the social norms, as we said, the traditional is still very strong in our culture, in our society, and that's where the girls were facing a lot of problems. One of them is, I think, the other presenters have mentioned about the poverty. It's highlands. Our infrastructure is not reaching our rural people. So there were many girls in the rural areas, they had access to education, so they missed out on a lot of opportunities on being education. So that was another thing. And then also we found out that the girls coming to our office were facing safety issues due to the conflicts and due to political issues and all this. The safety of the girls was another issue. And then we also found out that most of the extracting industries are based in the highlands, where the girls were being enticed to be able to send them to men working in the mine, not only the nationals, but there were also other people who were working in there. Like because of the poverty, parents were sending off children, young girls, to people working in the mining area. The other one is when internally displaced, or when there is a conflict, then the girls, when parents are internally displaced, and then they send off young girls to be able to secure land, to be able to secure safety for themselves. So this were becoming like when we were analyzing what information we were collecting. So in 2017, we did a baseline survey. We looked at the grassroots girls. And from the baseline survey, we collected about from 3,300 girls. We found out that these girls were basically getting support from the parents, but when the parents passed on, they were literally at nothing. The coffee block, the garden, the land were taken over when a brother was getting married. Because in our society, we women, we don't own the land. The land is owned by the male, and then it is passed down. And they had no resources. And so they were seen merely as being raised, and they can be sent to get married. And some of them were very young. And a lot of all these issues surrounding a young girl growing in her journey, they ended up getting married to become third, fourth wife. Men with the resources would marry them. They were lured into marrying them. So we started to develop programs how we can work with them. So with the grassroots women, we looked at what they want to learn. So we set up called an opportunity grant where we were able to get these girls go back to school. So we did a mass awareness with the parents, with the guidance. We brought them in, and this is what the girls are facing, these issues in the community. So how can we make it a better and a safe community for the women, for the young women? So we have been able to carry out this mass education in the schools and with the parents' guidance. Even if they were living with a husband or partner, we have to bring them with the children in and then tell them that this is the issues the girls and your wife or your partner is facing, so we need to support them. So we are doing a lot of awareness raising, engaging the young girls and the parents, and in schools we are going into schools to raise awareness that if they face any problems, they have to reach us. One of the things that we see is that we need to have a support system, support for the young girls where they can be able to turn to. So in 2017, we started the program. I'm proud to say, yes, that out of that, I think there were some girls about 18 and 19 that they joined the program. This year, we have the World Council's election, and 3 of the girls have been nominated by the community. They're contesting for the local level government council this year. So it is through this journey that we journeyed them together to make the leadership visible in the community. And change can happen if we provide the right kind of support and the information to the guidance and to the parents, and then make them see that girls' education and girls' support to the girls is important if we give them the right support and help them through. We have also used role models, those girls who have been successfully completed their education, or those girls who have been into smaller businesses, all this. So we also provide a platform where they can talk to them to inspire the other girls. So this year we have recruited a third cohorts. We've done with the first cohorts. 3 of them are going for the council election. And then we had the second cohorts. And this year we have recruited the third cohorts in another district. This is a very, very complex kind of province where the girls are being recruited to work with them. And it's a long process. It needs enormous support. And when we have somebody, a donor or an international development agency supporting, then we have to go through the process, and we have to complete them. So that as a person running the organization, I see that we go into partner with an organization for 3 years, and then we finish. We cannot complete. We have to look for the next lot support to help them. To really support our girls in our context, we see that we need to have a support system in place for the girls. We need to work through with them on their journey, together with them. And we saw that through that journey, the girls' leadership were becoming visible. So they're able to bring another girl with them. That's how you inspire, and you supporting them to be able to help and build the other and lift the other young girl at home. It also need the parents to understand that they have to provide equal support to a male child or a female child, because in our context there has always been positive value placed on the male child, because they see us as the protector. He's going to fight against other tribe, and he's going to protect her land, and he's going to be the security for the tribe and things like that. But now, as changes are happening, we see that we should work with them, but on a consistent basis. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Lily. So I'm going to invite you to come and sit up here with me, as well as Jolly. But thank you very much for that very sort of interesting story of how your organization has worked in a very context-specific way. and the importance of a sustained interventions, really meeting girls where they are, communities where they are, and staying with them on the long course and providing positive role models as well. So we're going to, I'm sure some of the people here have some questions, but we're going to, is there another mic there? Yeah, maybe you can each have a mic. I'm going to ask each of our speakers one question, and then we'll take some questions from the floor. So please think of your questions. And I understand we have over 40 people online, so if you have questions as well, please let us know. But going back full circle to Jolly, maybe you could let me know. I mean, it was really interesting to hear how the way plan works, but clearly over time, you've also had to sort of build engagement and ownership with governments. So maybe you can share how you've sort of helped create that enabling environment.
Thanks, Sam. Yes, absolutely. So there are two layers that we work. The first one is at the local level, because if we look at the government structure, so there is this national government ministries, and then they actually flow down it to the local communities, right? When we work, our main first stakeholder that we have to closely work is the local government representative, because they are the first duty bearers or the first responders on behalf of government when a child marriage happens. We work through our local partners and community-based organizations. And one of the strongest thing that we have done in a couple of countries is creating child protection committees. So it's called community-based child protection committees. In a couple of countries, there are laws and policies which says that in each community there should be a committee which comprises the local government representative, civil society organization, young people themselves, parents. So this is a committee which works for protecting girls from child early and forced marriage. What we do is we actually sometimes there isn't enough resources because when you create a committee, you have to have a structure, you have to have a lot of process and systems in place. Who will be in the committee members? Who will be the members? How do we make sure that these members are non-biased? They have come from, they're representing diverse communities, right? So plan actually work hand in hand with the local government representatives to make sure that those committees are existing, giving them trainings and capacity building initiatives so that they can respond. They know that what are the information that they should be disseminating. So this is what we do at the local level. And when we talk, go with our partnership at the national level, there are two modalities. One is we work through strategic partnerships with government themselves. Like in different countries, we have memorandum of understanding with different ministries where we tell them that as an INGO, plan wants to support the government, because we cannot do the job of the government, but what we can do is just extend the help. We can provide the technical assistance that how they can really implement their policies and laws. So that is one way that we have strategic partnerships with government institutions. And the second one is plan is part of different alliance. For example, there is a alliance, it's called Joining Forces, where 6 different child rights based organizations, Plan, World Vision, Save the Children, Child Fund, SOS. So we all have come together as an alliance and we work together, right? There is another network, it's called Girls Not Brides Network, where all the local organizations who work on child marriage, we all come together. And what do? We provide technical assistance. We ensure that what is the status of the implementation of the laws and policies are happening, what is the evidence, what is the reality of the ground, and then we present it to the government so that government can take right initiatives. So these are different levels of initiatives that we take in different countries.
Thanks very much, Jolly. So I mean, you spoke at different levels, but it's about providing sort of the governance structures, the strategic partnerships, and the capacity building, so you can have a sort of a collective response. Okay, so now I'm going to turn to you, Inda. So you gave us a very nice presentation earlier about the strategy and progress to date. Perhaps you can share what you think some of the remaining challenges or areas of work are?
Okay. Okay, Samantha, thank you. Actually, we're still facing some.
We're just trying to get your sound back in the room.
Hello. You can hear my voice? Hello?
I think maybe they can hear you online, but not yet in the room. Just 1 minute. Apologies, we're having a lot of technological challenges this morning for some reason.
Can you hear my voice now? Is it good?
Thumbs up and hearts going, even though we cannot hear, which is nice. Thank you for the encouragement, everyone.
Yeah. Can you hear my voice? Not
Okay,
yet?
maybe while we're fixing this, I will go to Lily first, and we'll come
Okay.
back to you, Inda. So Lily, it was really interesting what you shared with us before about how you operate in a very patriarchal society with strong gender and social norms. So how do you actually build support of the community, particularly leaders or people in position of power around such sensitive topics?
Yes, I think many of the people that we are working with, they like need to get a trust of you. You have to build a trust with them, and we have to build a trust with them. And one of the initiatives that we took with, especially with the young girls, was like the 16 days of activism, or any of the day of the environmental, the World Food Day, and all this. We bring the girls in and we help them to find out who are the power holders in the community. They map out and then they plan. And then we help them to implement wherever they are. So in that, through this 8 years, we were able to, through these young women, we were able to consistently work with the young women to implement them, engage them, the local community members, engage them to participate in them, whatever activity the young women were doing in the community, so that we can help them, train them, plan them together. They have to bring somebody from the community who's a power holder in there. They have to bring them an influencer in the community. They have to bring them to collectively plan together, and then they go and implement in their home. So it has been like consistently we have to do this, then they come to realize. And now we've got a lot of people, our organization is being visible in the province where we are working. And I think the safety network of the young girls that they've been working in there, they are now getting the support of the parents, of the partners, and of the community. Thank you.
Thanks. Do we have Inda? Can we hear you now? Do you want to just speak?
Yeah. Can you hear me now?
No, we can't,
Not yet.
unfortunately. So maybe if the tech can let us know once we can hear Inda. But in the meantime, maybe I will open the floor in case we have any questions. Please just raise your hand if you have a question. Don't be shy. Any questions in the room? Otherwise, I will ask a question. So a follow-up question to you, Lily. So have you ever been confronted by like a senior male community leader to challenge why you're doing this work? This is not against our culture. And if so, how did you respond?
I think in our context, sometimes we have to be strong to do that, you know. And no, I was confronted by the young female partners or husbands too. But through the opportunity grant that we secured, we were able to get 15 of the young girls go back to school. But it was a process of preparing, make the husband partner understand that if she's educated, then, you know, there will be improvement in the household and he must take care of the children, the household and things like that. So we were able to get 15 of the girls go back to school. Some cannot go on, but then later they have to turn up and things like that. But yes, we have issues with the partners. They feel threatened.
Okay. Yes, please.
So my question is to Lily. You have mentioned that the women are not the owner of the land in your country. Is it by law or norms?
It has been traditionally the land belongs to the male, and the father is passed down I think it is also recognized by our constitution too. But the father is now available. He can allocate a land to his daughter, but that has to be done legally. And our office has facilitated 3 of the transactions. But the community has been petitioned. They said that if the land belongs to the tribe, if there's nobody taking over, but when they are alive, they have the ultimate decision to make. So we have facilitated 3. The land has been legally documented to pass on to the girls.
So that just shows that social norms can change legally. It's difficult, but it's possible. Just standing up so I can see any other questions from the room. Yes, Jacob, please. Oh, there's a mic coming.
Hi, thank you so much for such an inspiring stories. My name is Jacob from ADB's Gender Equality Division. I have a question to Jolie. You mentioned about the early marriage is happening also out of love. And then, of course, we do not deny that. But how do you advocate the importance of the girls for pursuing education and also to become economically independent while not denying that importance of finding the true love?
Thank you so much, Jacob. So our first intervention, like when I was talking about multi-sectoral program, the first one is education. So our main advocacy is to keeping girls in school. But at the same time, we have to understand, let's say, what is the age when the young people actually gets, especially the young girls are getting married? It is between age of 15 to 18, right? And sometimes even younger than 15. So our main agenda is actually working with families because they are the decision makers. And also when we talk about economic empowerment, we have to understand that at the age of 15, we cannot engage a young girl in any kind of economic activities. Rather, we are working with their families to make sure that we are giving them economic opportunities so that they can keep their children at school, right? So it's almost like a leverage that we try to implement, is that we support the family so that they are becoming economically independent. In return, they have to make sure that they are keeping their children in school. Definitely, it's the girls that we say, but we also have to understand that we speak for both, for girl and a boy, because in a community where when a family is really poor, we also have to understand that sometimes the boys are been taken out of school because they are engaged in economic opportunities, right? So for Plan, we are a child rights organization. We stand for girls' rights. However, we also make sure that our gender transformative action, that one of the gender transformative action is boys and men engagement, that how we really advocate so that we cannot create an imbalance in the communities. So making sure that we are working with both girls, boys, men and women together to making sure that the boys and men become like the defendant of child marriage, and then the family is actually the base. So this is how we work with the family. So the first intervention goes with the family. And the second one is with the school authority. So there are school management committees where because they have the power, and the parents usually listen to the teachers because they're respected in the communities. So there are 2 things that we do in terms of making sure that the girls are kept in school and the boys both. And the economic independence for us, we start at the age of 16. So at the age of 16, what we try to do is actually giving them dreams that what they can do. Also checking them, with the reality versus the expectations. Because sometimes these days we do see that young people, for example, who has not passed, let's say 10th grade, but when we ask them about their dreams, they say, I want to be a doctor or an engineer, right? But then our responsibility is to show them that there are lots of other options available. So what they can really pursue, which matches with their aspiration and with their goals. So those kind of intervention that we do. And our targeted intervention, economic empowerment, starts at the age of 18 when they are legally authorized to work. So this is how we work. Thank you.
Thanks, Jolie. So I know we can hear you now, Inda, I think. So maybe we
Yeah.
can you can
you
respond to
hear
the question on what
can you
implementing your
hear my voice?
strategy.
Can you hear my voice right now? Yes. Okay. Okay. Thank you. Sorry for making it delay, but I try to answer the question. So we still facing the challenge, especially it's related to the social norm. Like Lily said, that social norm also matters in Indonesia. Some of the local have a social norm that perpetuate child marriage as part of the culture or traditions. So we need the long time interventions to make some behavioral change. And the second things is the challenge related to the decentralizations. Since we are a decentralization country, so the different capacity among the local government become a challenge. So in 2024, at a national level, we have a decreasing around 100 for a year. But if we are looking at the province, there are around 5 provinces have a highly increasing the child marriage numbers. So the disparities become a challenge because of a different capacities in the local government. So the third things, I think it's a big challenge until now. It is we still have a lack of data to reporting the unregistered child marriage. So we can tracking them to give their support after the children already have forced to be married. We still working on it. We still improving our database to collecting the number of unregistered married. And it is maybe we know that there's still like an iceberg phenomenon because although the number of child marriages are decreasing, however, in the we call it puskesmas, our health facilities in the local area, there's still many number of women under 18 years old has pregnancy. So it's like imbalanced data. So we still need progress actions to improve our database of the unregistered child marriage. Yeah, this is all the challenge, I think, but we also have a lesson learned because of our collaboration between government and non-government. So we have a very big opportunity to spread the national strategy in the different level of administrative from the province and then sub-regions until the village level. So we do very good collective actions, and we together both government and non-government formulated the practical guidance to interpret the national strategy of prevention of child marriage into very technical procedures. So all of the institution, either from government or non-government, can use it to accompanying the community of local government as their area of work to do the collective actions in the same frame, so the outcome so the output can contribute into the achieving the national indicator of prevention child marriage. I think it's all. Samantha, thank you.
Okay, maybe I should move away from the other mics. Thank you very much, Inda. So you've got the partnerships in place. You've got the national commitment. You've got the mechanisms, you got the procedures, roles right down from national to subnational, but you're still seeing challenges, social norms. That seems to be a challenge, a common challenge. You also talked about regional nuances and the need to tailor to different contexts across at subnational level, and also data, but also the need to triangulate data. So that was really interesting. Okay, do we have a last question from the room? Yes, please. I'm very happy to hear from one of our students. Thank you.
Good morning. Can you hear me? Yes. Okay, great. Hi, I'm Will from East West Bank. I have a question specifically for Inda regarding the national strategy to prevent the child marriage. I understand that the strategy itself is multi-sectoral and it also targets different skills when it comes to its execution. My question here first is, were you able to have an opportunity to test this before launching it at the national level? And then second is, were you able to identify which approach is the most effective in preventing the child marriage? Because from where I am at my career, we always try to figure out these models and understand which ones would be one where we could focus on and which strategy we could possibly recalibrate so that we could achieve the targets that we're trying to see. And yeah.
You hear the question?
Yeah.
Yes, please go ahead and respond.
Thank you, Will. I get your questions, and in the first time when we reformulate the national strategy of child marriage preventions, we do collaborate with some United Nations like UNFPA and UNICEF, and also I think the program from Australian Aid. We have some piloting in several areas to make sure that the national strategy can be implemented in the region level. And after that, we build the technical guidance, like I said before, to make it wider coverage of the strategy. So it is like not in 1 year, 2 year or 3 years. So it is slowly implemented from the very small area of piloting, and then we make it more coverage with collaboration with the Ministry of Child Protections in Indonesia. So all of the regions can be implemented too without any support from the development partner. So it is the one of our effort to make it implemented. And the second thing, which approach which is can work well, I think it is depend on the conditions of the local area. So one of the uniqueness of our national strategy is how to implement it. The first step is we supervise the local government to do self-assessment. So they have to make some earlier study, what is the challenge and what the position of their regions as in the child protection indicators, what they position, what they already do, and what they still facing the challenge. And they also have to identify the potential actors that can be potential collaborator to do this program. And they also have to identify the challenge. And the next step is they make a team to formulate the action that they want to do in the next 5 years. So the approach maybe can be different, depends on the assessment. Some of the regions say that I think we can start from making the umbrella regulations in the province area because we have no regulations, but some of them try to strengthening in the some technical areas like maybe we can strengthening the campaigns and the education of the what we call health reproductions for the teenagers. So it is really depends on the condition of the regions. Is it answered the questions?
Before we end, we've heard a lot about addressing child early forced marriage requires holistic response at all levels. But I'm just going to ask my panelists a very difficult question. If there was one silver bullet or call to action that you think is really necessary, what would it be? Would you like to go first, Jolly?
Sure. I think from our perspective, one thing that everybody needs to really get on board is that behind child marriage, the gender norms are persistent, and this does not happen within a day or within a year. It needs a long-term commitments because norms and practices, they do not change overnight. And if we really want to see the change, especially 2030 is knocking on the door, and we still have 5.3 to achieve, which we believe is very difficult, then we need to have investments, which we are not having enough at the moment. We need to have targeted investments to the supporters and donors, but also need strong government, civil society collaboration together to make sure that we have those, and young people being in the driving force of all the interventions.
Thank you. Lily? What would you like to add to that call to action?
I also concur with what my other colleague has mentioned. Like, it takes time, but it needs to be collective effort from the partners, whether it's from the donors, whether it's from civil society, from the community, that we all need to collectively work together consistently. And the key of awareness, we see change happening, but the more people become aware and they know, they'll be able to, and then involving more young people to be able to influence others as well. Thank you.
Thank you. Inda, would you like anything to add? Bold call, most important call to action?
Yes, actually, first thing that we have to make sure our strategy is working is trust. Trust between government and non-government, so the collaborative action can be working well. Yeah.
Common theme here: collective action, trust, long-term investment, more money, and what else? Partnerships, I think. So, and of course, a good strategy. So unfortunately, we've run out of time. I hope you've enjoyed and got a lot out of the session. You are all here part of the solution. We're talking about collective action, so that means all of us here in the room and online. Please join me in thanking our amazing speakers. It's been a great session, and also from our perspective, also our collaboration with Plan is very, very much appreciated and will continue. And to the organizers of this session, the key organizers, you know who you are. Thank you very much. The speakers will be around for a little bit longer if you want to come and talk to them. Otherwise, thank you very much, everyone, and I appreciate you joining today's session.
Thank you.